10 p.m. in Accra. We're grateful for your time tonight with us. This is News at 10. My name is Bright Nana Amfo. Thanks so much if you're watching us from across the country. From now till 10:30, we'll tell you exactly what's happening across the country and beyond. First, let's look at some highlights of news on our network. The police are yet to make any arrest 3 days after unknown assailant shot and killed 2 persons from Nkonya, Ahinkro, and injured 1. The police are also yet to visit the scene of crime very soon to tell you what's happening there. But our reporter is there and has been monitoring the situation there in the Alavanyo Nkonya area. We'll tell you more about that right here on News at 10. Also on our network, Minister of Education has cautioned the newly constituted Governing Council of the Ghana Education Service to deal with circuit supervisors who collect monies from teachers before processing documents for their salary arrears. Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe again asked the Governing Council to be proactive at ensuring prompt payment of teachers' salaries. So the council there getting a lot of advice from the Education Ministry, asking them to be proactive in the processing and payment of salaries of teachers. Let's get to the issue of Galamsey. The Lands and Natural Resources Minister, John Peter Amewu, says a militant approach is one of the measures adopted to stop illegal mining in the country. The sector minister joined workers on a sensitization march in Accra to halt the menace. The ultimatum has expired and the ministry is talking about a militant approach to stop illegal mining. And of course, workers there are clad in red there across some streets of Accra, drumming home the need to stop illegal mining. And of course, those were some news highlights on our network. We're grateful if you're watching us from Kintampo, the Bonafo region. Those of you who are joining us from Swedru in the central region, thanks so much for joining us. This is News at 10. Let's start with a big one. Well, let's start from here. The National Democratic Congress, the NDC, says the NPP administration's Planting for Food and Jobs program will soon suffer some major setbacks. The party's communications director, Solomon Nkansa, insisted the NPP administration had copied wrongly from the previous NDC administration's Green Revolution agricultural program.
President Akufo-Addo launched the Planting for Food and Jobs program in the Bunahafo region on Wednesday to create 750,000 direct and indirect employment. The agriculture program is also expected to increase the production of maize by 30%, rice by 49%, soya beans by 25%, and sorghum by 28%. The NDC, however, says the Akufo-Addo-led government had missed the fundamentals of the program, which formed part of the NDC's administration's Green Revolution program.
Mama cut short for the construction of an ultra-modern irrigation dam in Pualugu. That dam seeks to irrigate about 3,000 hectares of land, which will be able to lead to a tomato farming boom, so that we'll have most Ghanaian youth going into tomato farming, because when they get into tomato farming, there is a factory that will buy the produce.
Under the Planting for Food and Jobs program, government will construct 1,000 metric tons capacity warehouse in each district to store produce. The program will also be rolled out in all the 216 districts across the country with supply of farm resources to participating farmers. But the NDC disagrees.
Talk about 216 this one AMA. Which community of AMA that is a farming community? Takrady. STMA. There are cosmopolitan districts which you cannot say you can engage in agriculture activities there. Whom are they deceiving?
The party's communications director says the government must consult the NDC administration for full fact of the program. The NDC's Green Revolution aimed at doubling the output of the country's staple product, particularly grains and tubers, by the year 2021.
All right, so let's tie in the issue of planting for food and jobs to the NPP administration's One District, One Factory project and speak to the national coordinator, Gifty Ohene-Kunedu. She just joined me on the phone lines. Madam, grateful for your time tonight. Right, we'll very soon get back to the phone lines and speak to Gifty Ohene-Kunedu. She's the national coordinator of the One District, One Factory program. Let's start from here. If you can hear me. Now, when exactly is this expected to kickstart?
Thank you very much. We are looking at June.
Right. And so if we're looking at June, between now and June, what exactly are we expecting to be done to kickstart the whole project?
We've done some preparatory work. Started with, it was a policy statement from His Excellency the President, and it's so dear to him that immediately he assumed office, he appointed me, and I started the preparatory work. I did a project document, and I got some consultants to help me do the investment framework, and we have identified some projects, and we've done the feasibility studies. And so we're going around finalizing all the arrangements to make sure that by June we can start this program. The actual implementation, that is the building of establishing the factories. That's what we hope to start in June.
I see. Madam Ohene-Kunedu, be candid with us. Is every district going to get a factory?
Yes, every district. In fact, I even suspect that some districts will get more than one factory because the response is so huge. People are coming to me day in and day out with products that they have a factory, one factory or the other, and they have all kinds of products which they come to show to me. So I suspect that we might even get more than a factory in a district, but our target is to get district in each factory.
I see.
That's our promise to Gandhi.
There is no doubt some districts can get more than one, but for instance, Accra Metro Assembly, what factory are you going to put here?
Well, there are a lot of factories around here, but it depends on the response from the people. We are looking at more at outside the city. We are looking, our focus is more on outside the city centers. We might maybe want to go to the suburbs of Accra. And that is so. There are still districts around Accra which are not main Accra, and that's where we are looking to go.
There also talks about government already having identified some defunct factories, and the intention is to revive them. Is that on the drawing board?
Yes. In some instances, we may have to revive some of the factories, and where we have to build new ones to do that.
Some analysts have cautioned government to be careful. For instance, these factories are going to churn out produce. Now, marketing, has it been thought through as to how these produce are going to be marketed, particularly looking at the way everything is imported into the country, the prices of the produce that will be manufactured here and those that will be imported from outside?
So we have adopted a holistic approach to this. So we are looking at even the production and also the marketing. Because if you don't have the product and you build the factory, it becomes a quite elephant. So you must have the product, and then you have the factory, and then you look also at the marketing. Because if you have a factory and you produce your product and you don't have the market, it's also a big issue. So we are looking at all that, and I have consultants who are helping me to look at market access and distribution, and I have consultants who are also looking at agronomists who are also looking at the production of the product that we require for the factory.
I see. And so if it takes off in June, finally, let's wrap up on this. When the project takes off in June, is it going to be a situation where we have perhaps 5, 6, 10 factories, the sod being cut for them for construction to start immediately, or perhaps we'll see more feasibility studies being done from June?
What is happening is that, as I said earlier on, the interest is huge. And people come to me with their business plans. They've already done their feasibility, they have their business plans, and they are ready to take off, and they need one help or the other from government. So the feasibility study will go on even after June, but the term that we're going to take start with, we have their business plans to be ready, and I think that all the preparatory work would have been done by then, and then we go in and establish the factory. Where we buy into existing ones, we will do that.
I see. The last time we checked, we're told that by way of pledges, some $3 billion is being pledged for the project. In terms of funding, how successful have you been so far?
In terms of funding from the government, that is the government of Ghana, we have 450 million for this initiative. And the pledges, as you rightly said, these are pledges. We don't have them in hand, but we're hoping that maybe we'll get some of them in the future. A large chunk of them anyway, because as I said earlier on, the interest is very huge, and we have these investors coming from all over, from South Africa, from China, Britain, from the US, and all that. So I think that we get the funds from them.
I see. So we'll be taking off with 450 million Ghana cedis from government.
Yes, for this year. For this year, that's what has been allocated for this project.
Oh, okay,
that's only what we have for this year.
And that's only for 2017?
Yes, for this 2017.
All right. So possibility of more funding coming in from government and other stakeholders. Government is anticipating that.
Yes, it's anticipated that. And you know, every year there's a budget. I'm sure next year you will get something.
Madam, I'm grateful for your time with us tonight. Gifty Ohene Kunedu is a national coordinator of the One District, One Factory project of the government, expected to take off in June. 450 million Ghana cedis seed money expected for 2017. We'll tell you more about that later on. Thanks so much, Madam, for your time. But let's stop on the breaks for now. We'll tell you more about what's happening in the Rotary region, the Nkonya Alavanyo issue. Peter Kwadato is there. When I return, I'll tell you exactly where Peter is and what's happening there. Stay with us. This is News at 10. Welcome back to News at 10. The police are yet to make any arrest 3 days after unknown assailants shot and killed 2 persons from Nkonya, Ahinkro, and injured 1. Peter Kwadato is our man there, and he just reported the remains of the deceased and the injured were retrieved by some youth from Nkonya, Ahinkro. That's the situation there at the moment. You can see on your screens a video from there. Security beefed up there. Traditional authorities and the Regional Security Council ensuring peace in that area. That protracted conflict once again revived as a result of some shooting incident. My colleague Peter Kwadato is there, and he joins me on the phone lines. Peter, grateful for your time tonight. It's just gone past 10 p.m. What is the security situation there at the moment?
The place is calm for now, except that the community people say they have been hearing gunshots from the area, but there's no other thing going on as far as security is concerned. The only difficulty is the way the security are handling the issue. As of now, as I said in the evening news, no security man has been able to visit the accident scene or the scene of the shooting today. This afternoon, they were in the town, the police and the police soldiers were in the town. They roamed the area, but they didn't go to the site. That is the major worry for the community.
I see. And is the police giving any reason why their men are yet to get to the scene of the crime?
I asked the regional crime officer of Bo, and he said they are doing their underground work and that they want some time to go to the place. I again asked him what happened if all the evidence that they will gather there has been destroyed before they get there. What are they going to see to know that this is what can lead them to identify the culprit in this case? He couldn't give any proper answer to this one, but they said they are doing their work and that the important thing is that they want the people to patrol the area, they want security to become and then investify their investigation to identify the culprit.
I see. Now, the police have also not made any arrest, but you said that there are still gunshots. So, where are the gunshots coming from?
According to the people of Nkonya, the gunshots keep hearing the gunshots from the same area where the people were killed. And so they don't know whether it is the same people who are there who are shooting the gun, and or it is something else that is happening. But they keep hearing this morning there were gunshots and that they heard, and the security men, some of them have also confirmed that they heard something like that. I don't know what is that is the reason why the police are not willing to go to the scene to investigate or to understand exactly what the situation is.
I see. And the curfew is holding, and sure, it means that the inhabitants there would not be able to go about their normal duties. Now,
there's no curfew in the area. According to the community, there's no curfew. The only problem is that they are not able to go to their farms because of the gunshots and other things. And even the work that the people are doing, which is palm wine tapping, where they were killed, nobody from Nkonya could go to the palm wine tapping place since the incident happened, and they don't know the condition of the palm wine and the other equipment that are left over there. They want the security to provide security for them so that they can go there and work. And nobody is willing to do that for them. So they can go to their farms, but there is no curfew in Nkonya.
I see. The citizens, the residents can't even go out at this time of the night.
They can go around the town. There's no curfew, so anybody they can do their normal things in the community. But to travel beyond going to farm, going to the area where the thing happens, that is their problem.
I see. Now we're told that the Regional Security Council met and took some decisions. Are you privy? Are you aware of some of the key decisions that were taken in connection with these clashes?
No information from that meeting has been given. And even when the security were in the town this afternoon, they met with the traditional leaders in a closed-door meeting, and they declined to give us any briefing about what they discussed at that meeting. And so the security measures, apart from deployment of security measures to provide security in the area, there have been no information from that meeting, and even the one that was held in Nkunya this afternoon.
I see. And then again, we're told that the Regional House of Chiefs is also considering some sanctions for the chiefs of the two communities. Has this also come to your notice?
Yeah, I heard that this morning on my way to the community. So I asked the chiefs of Nkunya. They said there has been no communication. We also heard rumor that they said they have suspended them. They're wondering how that decision could be taken without any consultation with any of them, and say that their problem is that the chiefs and the people are meeting all the time, signing memorandum of understanding every time. And the people keep, the incident keeps happening. And so the leadership has been doing what they could do. They can talk to the people, to ensure that this thing doesn't happen. And out of the blue, it happens. So we don't understand how the regional house of chiefs would just get up one day and say they have suspended them, and then the communication has not been giving them anything. All of that they have been suspended. When no formal information has been given to any of the the people concerned.
Okay. Peter Kwa, that I'm grateful for your time tonight. He's our man there monitoring the situation in the area, the Nkonya Alavanyo clashes. We're told peace, calm has been restored. Security men there, no curfew. We'll tell you more about that development. Let's move on. The Minister of Education has cautioned the newly constituted Governing Council of the Ghana Education Service to deal with circuit supervisors who collect monies from teachers before processing documents for their salary arrears. Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh again asks the council to be proactive at ensuring prompt payment of teachers' salaries.
The Governing Council is expected to assist the Minister of Education to redesign curricula at the basic education level. The Council is to also speed up the attainment of the free SHS, which is to be rolled out in September this year. The Governing Council is to facilitate teacher licensing and enforce code of discipline against teacher absenteeism. The Sector Minister, Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh, asked the Council to deal with circuit supervisors who continually collect money from teachers before processing their documents.
The Ministry takes a very serious view of. I charge you and your fellow council members to take this matter up as soon as possible and ensure that the practice is stamped out in order to preserve the integrity of the Ghana Education Service and the government payroll system.
He again asked members of the council to facilitate teacher promotions and transfers in the Ghana Education Service. Chairman for the council, Michael Nsowa, promised to address the concerns of the teachers.
We also resolved to work hard to ensure discipline in the education sector, because without discipline, all the good intentions of these good programs to improve the delivery of education will come to nothing.
The reconstituted Governing Council for the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, was also sworn in. He asked the council to work on student accommodation and resolve internal wrangling on the appointment of principals for the institution.
GIMPES leaders must not disrupt academic work, frustrate and undermine progress, and fight over principal positions and leaderships. Much is therefore expected of the council to deliver. You must be guided by fairness to all, transparency and accountability.
Chairman of the council, Kofi Dakun Asante, pledged his commitment to set the institution on sound academic footing.
We shall work closely with the faculty, students and trainees, and the authorities to deepen the fusion between theory and practice.
In some other news, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has charged non-governmental organizations to devise strategies to support the poor and vulnerable to become self-reliant. The president was speaking at a Rotary International Conference in Accra.
Participants for the 4-day annual conference are from Niger, Benin, Togo, and Ghana. The district conference and training seminar is the highlight of events in the annual district Rotary calendar to prepare members for the activities. President Akufo-Addo praised the Rotary International for their involvement in many humanitarian projects across the world.
Your first chosen area of focus is peace and conflict prevention and resolution. It is noteworthy that the 4 countries in your district all currently enjoy relative internal peace.
In recognizing their efforts in helping the vulnerable in society, the president encouraged them to adopt strategies to make the poor self-sufficient.
It is not enough to get help to be able to feed your family. The help must be so structured as to enable you to strike out and be able to lead an independent life. Whatever economic programs you bring, please let it be something that helps people to stand on their own feet and prosper.
Well, President Akufo-Addo, they are addressing Rotarians. They were grateful that you stayed there to be part of the show. And of course, to my technical men in the studio, Stephen Nate and Anabwaji, my cameraman, Theophilus Clotty, Bernard Hansi, my soundman, and Ben Mensah, Albert Mensah, Charles Atuple, and Charles Odro. We're grateful for your time. The show was put together by Samuel Entry and Daniel Opoku. And of course, my studio director, Richard Bruce Lamte. My name is Bright Nanafo. Have a great night, but stay right here on TV3. Good night.